journalist. She writes for Pitchfork, among other publications, and she recently reviewed Grimes' Art Angels and gave it a 8.5. Maybe she has bad tastes. She wrote a book from a female rock critic perspective, but this is not why I am interested by her. Curiously, she was very much involved in some very famous events, which occurred 21 years ago in Seattle and had a huge impact on music. Yes, curiously, Jessica Hopper was staying at Kurt Cobain's house when he died, because she was the girlfriend of Cali Dewitt, the Cobain's male nanny. So Jessica got very close and personal with the Cobains. Cali was a former roadie with Courtney Love's band, Hole, and he was originally hired as a nanny for Frances. Some say he was also a heroin addict, and thus they could continue their drug use and be sure he would not alert the authorities. Here is the timeline of the events according to biographer Charles R. Cross. Kurt was home on Saturday, April 2nd, only 6 days before he was found dead, and went to Cali's room around 6 a.m., sat on the end of the bed, and even sang "Hey Skinhead Girl" to Jessica, who asked him to call Courtney because she was freaking out. They made a call, but Courtney wasn't taking any calls. Over the next 2 days, there were scattered sightings of Kurt. On Monday, April 4th, Cali had left the house for the evening, and Jessica heard noises around midnight. I heard footsteps upstairs in the hall, she recalled. They were walking with a purpose, not tiptoeing about, so I assumed it was Kurt. She called out, "Hello," but got no answer. On Tuesday afternoon, Hole's Eric Erlandson was sent by Courtney to the house to look for Kurt. However, Erlandson and the couple didn't think about searching the garage or the greenhouse. Courtney pretends she continued to phone home, but her calls went unanswered. On the night of Witness Day, April 6th, private detective Tom Grant, who had been hired by Courtney Love, flew to Seattle. Cobain's body was found on April 8th, but, according to the police report, Cali was transported by taxi from the Cobain home to the airport the day before, on Thursday, April 7th, whereas Jessica had left for Minneapolis on Wednesday, April 6th. According to Charles Cross, by all accounts, she was present when Erlandson arrived at the estate the day before. The most interesting part of the story is that both departures were precipitated, and Hopper claimed she was very distressed, vomiting in the driveway while departing the estate. "I was sick for 2 days when I got back because I was such a mess." What could have made her so sick? Was she on drugs? Did she see something? She never said anything more than this, but it is extremely strange and very convenient that they both left just before the body was discovered. She was probably one of the last persons to speak to Kurt before he died. However, the police has never interviewed her. Very recently, or in 2015, she was asked about the events of April 1994 by a journalist during a book tour in Dublin, and you can listen to her distraught answer, link in the description, or rather, lack of answer. Hopper became very upset. She broke down, cried, and avoided the question. Why is she still so upset about something which happened 20 years ago? And why can't she even talk about it? What were these footsteps she heard upstairs? Even Courtney Love is not crying when she talks about her husband's death. Jessica Harper has always admired Courtney Love, who took her under her wings when she was just a teenager. As for Cali, he reportedly worships Love too and was following her everywhere at the time, mostly because he could get free heroin. A few weeks later, Tom Grant says Courtney told him that she gave Cali $30,000 to go to rehab somewhere back east in Arizona, and that she was very angry because he took his girlfriend with him. Many people think that Cali was involved in Cobain's death, or at least that he knows much more than he has said so far. What a mess this story is. But despite all this, or maybe because of Courtney's generous wings, Jessica Harper has written for the Chicago Reader, Spin, LA Weekly, The Village Voice, BuzzFeed.com, Punk Planet, and currently works as the editor-in-chief at the Pitchfork Review.
Any more questions?
Yes, thank you. Hi Jessica, I happen to be friends... Yeah? Yeah, cool. I happen to be friends with Maureen Herman, and she told me to tell you that she said hi.
Oh, great.
Okay. Now, this question involves when you were quite young, so it might make you feel a bit awkward, okay? So I'm just going to read it out now. According to the Nirvana biography by Everett True, you spoke about Kurt coming back to his house while you and Cali were staying there. That he was in your room chatting and even joking about your shaved head.
I don't really want to... This is...
I'm just going to ask the rest of it.
I don't feel like this is appropriate.
I'm going to just... Having spoken...
You're asking me a question about someone who's very close to me.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
I spoke to the NoFX guitarist El Jefe and Chris Flippin of Lagwagon earlier this year, and they were both pretty adamant that Kurt was murdered and seemed to know exactly what went down. And my thing is, what was your perception of his mood when he did speak to you that morning, when he chatted?
She's already said she doesn't
Are
want
you
to talk about
are you
it.
covering for someone? Is there a reason?
That's...
One sec.
No, she's uncomfortable.
You know, I mean, when you said that Courtney was very, very generous for you to write for your scenes, is there something behind
Can you
that?
stop asking your question and I can talk to you?
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay.
You look really defensive, by the way, but I'm just
blame
saying.
her.
No. I know a lot.
Okay, so let's just, you want to go there?
Sure, yeah, sure.
Hear this answer?
No worries, no worries.
We're going to calm this down very nicely.
Yeah.
We're going to calm this down very nicely. So the first thing we're going to do is thank you for your question.
No worries.
And I'm going to ask Jessica, do you want to answer the question? Or
Yeah, I'll go ahead and answer.
Okay.
It's really interesting sometimes when people seem to have a conspiracy about someone that you care about really
I
deeply
understand
getting
that.
murdered.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. As I said, I spoke to El Jefe.
I
I've spoken... Have you heard of NoFX? Come on, you're a music critic. You know NoFX.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
You know what?
Whoa, hang on a second. Excuse me. Yeah,
That people
woman,
periodically...
Just let her finish talking.
Okay.
I don't know if you even deserve an answer.
Well,
Hang on a second.
please don't get upset, okay? And
Oh,
I
please don't get
understand.
upset. You're asking me about someone who was like a family to me.
You were in the house though when he was supposed to be missing.
Just stop it.
I'm asking you
You think I don't
something.
fucking know that?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I'm like, you know,
Excuse me.
I will leave.
Excuse me, you're upsetting our guest.
Yeah, no worries. I will leave. No worries. No worries.
Excuse me, and also,
No worries.
would you mind doing a favour?
Yeah,
We just come back here and have a quick shout at you.
you can if you want. I'm sorry for upsetting you, but I actually think that you're covering something.
Excuse me.
You're covering for someone,
Excuse me.
and you're scared of someone, and I would say that that was Courtney Love.
Excuse me. Sorry for.
I'm sorry for upsetting you, Jessica, but that's how I feel.
go back to the internet.
No. There's a lot more people
me.
that I've spoken
Excuse me,
to, and it's not just the internet.
Excuse me. Do me a favour. Sorry. Could you delete that, please?
Excuse me.